right. It's better when you take your glasses off because this is an empty room now. It's like being at home. Okay, hey. So the only reason I came here tonight, I'm the manager of Priest and the Righteous Ones.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the story how I ended up the manager. And it's interesting because their manager's name is Scott. Anybody knew Scott? Probably not. Well, Scott worked at MTN, Minneapolis Telecommunications Network, and my wife met Scott, and so she introduced me to him and said, yeah, here's Mr. Wonderful. I actually thought she was talking about me, but she wasn't. And so the more I got to know Scott, he was a really cool guy, and he was their manager. And I said to Scott, so what are you going to do tonight? And he said, well, I'm going to go work out. And I said to him, well, Scott, what gym do you belong to? And he said, I have a modest gym at home. Well, the last time they heard from him was on Wednesday, then they found him Saturday, he died. So how I get to be the manager is I was just the next guy that, I like Scott. So they're like, you could be a good manager. I'm like, but you had Mr. Wonderful. And it's really hard to fill in Mr. Wonderful's shoes. So after being here for a little while, I thought I might as well come up because my life is stranger than reality or fiction. Besides, let's see, let's do this. So I'm Priest and Righteous One's new manager because the other guy died. So they had the board meeting at MTN and they didn't know how to explain Scott was dead. So the head guy said, well, Scott didn't show up for the board meeting. What a jerk, he died. So I've been thinking about my death a lot lately. When you have friends that die, how many of you, I think I'm, immortal until it's inevitable. How about you?
Right up until you die?
I don't know. I haven't, I don't really want to die. I just want to go home. Do you realize this place is not your home? Here's my story. I'm from a town of 444 white people. Basically, central Wisconsin, Almond. It's located between Peanut and Cashew. We're just a bunch of nuts there. I actually used that line in the Lutheran church. They didn't laugh. It's a little uptight. No wonder I'm not Lutheran. I'm actually Pentecostal. Well, I can't be Pentecostal. How have you been to church? Anybody? I can't see anyone. Raise your hands. Okay, yeah, me too. Yeah, believe it or not, usually I get to sit down because you don't want to be accused of doing stand-up at the pulpit. I'm a pastor. Actually, if you spell pastor, P-E-S-T-E-R, pester. Hey, give it a try. So I end up walking up to this girl, excuse me, have an accent. Where are you from? She said, I don't have an accent. You do? So we've been married 21 years now. This is not a joke. My wife's about that tall. See, in 21 years of marriage, we went from being called sweetie to being called sweaty. The whole thing is, I guess some of you prepped to be here. I think you did a little more than I did. And, like cologne. She's armpit height, so we went from using cologne to deodorant. Because that's the only time that would really matter, right? So we have 3 kids. They're 19, 15, and 11. So our children are Meritopian. Half me, half her. The little one said, Dad, what I got from you is your fat forehead, your unibrow, your mustache, your fat bottom lip. She goes, I'm trying to make you feel good about yourself. I can pull it off. You can't. And then she tells me that when I married Mom, I married up. But actually, it's really hard to rank in somebody's shadow. Why? Because she's shorter than I am. No lie. Yeah, I would love to have a picture of my kids because I get asked a lot, your granddaughters are beautiful. And I'm like, well, if they're my daughters, are they still beautiful? Or the best one is my friend, African-American guy, puts his arm around me and says, I'd like you to speak on adoption. I'm like, Henry, why would you like me to speak on adoption? He said, because I forgot where you adopted your children. I said, their mother's womb. He goes, you forgot your wife's black. Me too. And she's actually brown, I hate it when people tell me that I married someone of a different race. She's more human than I am. If you can't tell, this is not a costume. This is what I like to wear every day because she usually runs out of gas. On her dash, it says toe, T-O-E. It's not toe like for your toe. That's too empty. So last time she ran out of gas, the little one called and said, hey, car broke. And I said, honey, that said tow to empty, you have no gas. So she always says, I shouldn't dress in my coveralls. So when I go to church, I always make sure I'm wearing pink pajama monkey pants or something underneath, because to me, where I'm from, these are pants, you know. And so let me tell you, how many of you actually think President Trump is going to get that wall built? I don't. 52, do the math, 28 years ago, okay? I was drunk in Tijuana. Picture me drunk in Tijuana. It's a mess, okay? I had a hot pink polo shirt on. I was carrying a Little Mermaid backpack with a $500 Minolta 7000i camera, Paisley boat shoes, not Princess, but my own, you know, not to knock grease, you know. And so basically what happened is I read the sign that said guns were illegal in Mexico, so I bought a flower pot. So I was so drunk I thought, if in fact someone came near me, I'd hit them with the flower pot. Well, that didn't work, and I got lost. And I looked up and I said, God, if you could ever do anything for me, get me out of this, I'll do anything for you. He was eavesdropping. And someone walked up to me and said, the border's to the right, not the left. Well, you can ask my children. Sober, I don't know my right from my left. That's probably if I go exit stage, yeah, left, right. Yeah. Left, yours, right? Yeah. Okay, so the point is, I got to the border, and I'm looking down. Well, when I came into Tijuana, anybody been to Tijuana? Cool. You go up over 20 lanes of traffic and down into Mexico. So you would think you would go up over 20 lanes of traffic and go down to the United States, right? Obvious? If you go to the right. So I remember standing at the gate, pushing at it and crying. And then I go look and I'm like, hey, I'm going to jump. And then run through traffic, which is really stupid, me running and me jumping. I'm not an Olympian, so can you tell? And I might have made it. But then I thought, if the only thing I could probably accomplish is death. So you can put it on my gravestone. The only thing Jim ever accomplished in his life was death. Or the other alternative, vegetable. I don't eat vegetables. I don't want to become one. And so actually what happened, I go to the right, or to the right now? Yeah, the left. And there's a hole in the fence. If you're watching TV news or the internet where they're shooting tear gas in, that's where I came back into America, in the hole in the fence. Mexican immigration's yelling, freeze, gringo. I'm like, I speak Spanish. And they never saw anybody our color come through the hole in the fence. I was a novelty. Kind of like Rodney Dangerfield, the border crossers. They just didn't actually care that I was there. And so I hid behind a car. They go, we see you. And I'm like, hey. So in the morning, somehow I ended up in my hotel room, hung over. And there was a knock on the door. 2 guys in uniform were there. And I walked out with my hands up. And they said, put your hands down. Your mommy called. She didn't want you to miss your flight. Well, needless to say, I had a heck of a drive back from San Ysidro to Tempe. I had this great idea. That's the most fun I've ever had in my life. How can I live in Mexico the rest of my life? I had a great idea. I want to become a missionary. So I ended up in mission school, Weyerhaeuser, Wisconsin, Youth of the Mission. Bible college, where I met my wife. Still never been back to Mexico. Been to Ethiopia, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Jamaica, and Israel. All because I made a wrong turn. Actually, yeah, probably. You know, when you got to talk about Jesus is this. Let me just put it this way, too. When I told you I'm Pentecostal, do you realize I pay $20 a month to not work out? Right? So just like accepting Christ, it's like joining the athletic club. Because it's free to get in. It's the maintenance fees that will kill you. All right. I'm good. Woo! I don't know if you are, but that's good.